better than anyone else, you have looked at a girl and was like, oh, she's fast. Oh, she definitely gets around. Like, don't.
What, he was trying to act like I'm the good guy?
No, the girls were.
Oh, they were being pick-me's.
Yes, and it was so annoying.
So what were they saying?
So first the guy said that, you know what I mean?
What did he say?
Like, basically the question was kind of like, oh, like, how do you view girls as promiscuous? You know what like, what factors go into that type of question, right? And then he was like, first it was like, have you done that before? The first guy tried to be like, no, not really. Like, I let girls express themselves, whatever, bye. The second guy was like, yeah, I do sometimes, you know what I mean?
Judge the girls.
Yes, and I was like, okay, and that's the truth. Like, I validated that, because I'm not saying it's right, but we all do it, and I'm tired of people pretending like they don't.
Judge them?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we do.
And I'm not saying it's right to do.
I mean, but what level are you judging them at? Like, what is your... Because I judge to a certain extent.
Yeah, I'm not saying, like, as soon as a girl goes out in shorts, then, oh, she be getting around. But he was, like, very, like, open with it. Like, I feel like if I see her talking to multiple guys within the span of a certain time, you know what I mean? Because the campus is small. You gonna see somebody, like, I saw one guy, every week it's a different, every week. And it's crazy to me, because he's so ugly. So how are you pulling? But, like, he was like, if I see her with, like, multiple guys in the span of, like, a month or a quarter, then, yeah, I'm gonna think that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's fair to think, you know? And he was just kind of talking about how it's less of, like, an appearance thing and more like a personality thing. Like, if they do, like, this trait or this trait, he just automatically thinks that, you know what I mean? And the girls were so annoying, because when the question came back to the girls, like, hey, do you view girls like that as well?
But I think that's odd, because, like, Monaleo, who else kind of talks? Like, certain rappers that we listen to, they kind of talk that talk.
Yeah.
We don't judge them, but how is it any different from on campus?
I think that's interesting, because they do talk around like, oh, I get this dude, if this dude don't work, then
I'm gonna trick on him. And Mona Leo just came out with a song since she gonna trick on him. And
I don't know, I feel like that's interesting. That's interesting. I've never thought about that. I don't know, maybe because, like,
it's because they got money. It's a classism thing,
it
maybe.
Could be that. But, like, in my eyes, it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, at least be on top of what you do. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not expecting no college girl to have like 50 bands in the bank account. You know what I mean? Obviously not. But I think it's like a thing where it's like, if you were doing that, I'd be like, okay, like, but my mom is like, she be at work every morning. She get her money up, like, all that, you know?
Yeah, but I'm older and I know better, and I shouldn't be trying to live out this life that I should have been living in my college years. They're in college. They're supposed to be living that life.
Yeah.
There's always, like, this social norm of, you're young, you're supposed to be doing that in these years, but when they do it in those years, they're being judged. So when you see someone like my age doing it, it's like, oh, you should have been doing that in your 20s at your big age. You get what I mean?
So maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's like how you place people in your mind, if that makes sense. Like, if you don't know a girl, you're quicker to judge her. Does that make sense? As opposed to you, where I'm like, okay, well, I know this about you, so.
But we have judged, like, girls or women that we don't know. Like, if we see them, like, in the club, and they're like,
that's what I'm saying. We're quicker to judge girls that we don't know, as opposed to girls that we, like, know very, like, personally, or even we have, like, with celebrities where we have, like, this false perceived image. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I just feel like it still kind of falls under that patriarchy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, we're still under that. You know what I mean? We're still under that patriarchy, condition under that patriarchy is why we still kind of, you know, it's a hit and miss of how we perceive one person or one group versus another, like rappers and then college students. And then women my age who got their shit together versus them not. Because those same, like you were saying about the boy that had that was talking, who it was two of them, one had an opinion, and you say you would listen to him more, and I bet you 100% he had so much to say because he wasn't getting hoes like the other ones. No, you can
look at him, you can definitely tell.
You know what I mean? That's why he has so much to say about...
He browses Reddit, obviously.
Yeah. And why he has so much to say to how his friends, get women or talk to them or whatever the case may be, is because he has to sit back because he's never the chosen one. He's the one, when they do two men, he's
not getting picked.
Yeah, he's definitely not getting picked. But I mean, I get it. But it's just funny how we try so hard to be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the type of conversation I expected in the fistful. Not like white women just kind of being like, oh, well, I don't experience that. I bet you don't. I'm going to slap you.
But you guys are the main ones experiencing it. Just like when, not to change the subject, but just like the food stamp talk.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, you guys are on welfare, black women, but they're the number one people or demographic that are getting food stamps.
No, literally.
But they're the number one demographics that's always in those surveys.
No, for real.
But you don't experience that, girl.
That's the part that kills me. Like, it's like, are you guys like genuine? Like, it's okay if like you just really haven't experienced that, but for 1 out of 4 of us to only experience that, and like, are you guys like purposely trying to isolate me, or like what's going on? Like,
no, they just don't want to share their experience,
which is so
because it's embarrassing. It's probably embarrassing.
But don't come to a fishbowl where you're gonna have where you have to be, and to be in the fishbowl, you have to be willing to have an in-depth discussion.
Right.
That defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Like, are you just here for the $10? Because I didn't go for the $10. I went for the experience, you know what I mean?
Right.
And because she was so nice, like, not even like overwhelming, like you could just feel like the sunshine in her soul, and I was like, no way am I gonna tell this girl no, I'm not gonna be in her study. And she was so nice. She was like, here's a little plant, like, here's this.
Where's the plant? Because you owe me a plant.
I know, I was gonna bring it, but then I forgot because I had to bring so much.
Well, I want it next weekend.
Yeah, you can have it next weekend.
You owe me a plant.
Yeah,
by
proxy. And it doesn't take dirt or anything. You just put water in him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could probably put dirt in him. That's not what she told us. She was like, you can just keep it in water and it will grow.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have it because it just sits in my windowsill, and I don't like it in my room because, again, I don't like my roommate's energy, and I just...
You forgot my plant, so you owe me a plant.
Well, that's why...
It's a plant, yes.
Yeah, we can both take care of it, because that's the plant she owes me is your plant, because I was taking care of your plant, baby. So we can both take care of it, okay? As long as you don't drown it in water.
It's going to be very hard to drown it. It's like a little glass, and then you just put the water in there. And, yeah.
But yeah, that's funny how we perceive.
And it's like, that's the type of like discussion about biases and stuff that I want to have. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, so it was just really irritating.
Girl, good luck with that, because I'll say 95% of the population are NPCs. They all repeat the same thing, and those are things that they see on social media. I just did a TikTok on how everyone around me are all saying the same statements, the same conversations.
About the state of masculinity, you know what I mean? And I was like, for me personally, from what I've seen, masculinity has gotten better than it was when I was a kid.
Why you say that? What? Say it again.
From what I've seen, like, masculinity has gotten better. The state of masculinity has gotten better from when I was a kid. Like, it's really frustrating to think about. Like, they were completely disagreeing with me. But from what I've seen, from where I've grown up, masculinity was very, I'd say, like, aggressive. There was, like, a lot of aggressive masculinity.
Like how? Give me an example.
Like, when I was in elementary school, like, most guys, like, young boys, you know what I mean? Which is, like, where masculinity starts. They were, like, very aggressive, like, doing a lot excessively to try to be like, oh, this is, like, boy thing, stay out of this. You know what I mean?
Like, what? Give me an example.
Like, okay, like, if we're playing on the playground, and, like, some kids are, like a group of, like, boy kids are, like, playing something, and then you were a little girl, and you're like, hey, can I play? You know what I mean? They'd be, like, really, like, no, you can't. This is boy thing. Like, get out of here. Or, like, guys would, like, little boys would go out of their way to, like, you know, like, I guess that you can describe it as kids being kids, but from what I've seen how other kids interact now, being old, like, an older sister, it's different. Like, there's more, how do I explain? Like, there's more, coexisting, like, co-ed.
Well, yeah, because all the boys mostly not want to be girls, but most of them are, how do I say this without coming off? If you haven't noticed, most of the men that are gender born men are bottoms.
Yeah, but
so they are definitely intertwined with us now.
But I'm saying that change, even if it's like that, it's still a masculinity shift.
Well, yeah. Sense? I mean, if you say it like that, yeah, of course.
Or even on social media, at least from what I've seen, because I don't know, everyone else in the
Gen
group,
Z is not the same as millennials.
But everyone else in the group is talking, like, they were acting like they were on, like, the devil side of social media. Like, what do you mean all you're getting is, like, Andrew Tate videos to show you? I mean,
the red pill men are out there. Oh, yeah, trust.
Sure.
The millennial, I see it as the millennials.
But I'm saying, like, even...
Not your age group.
But just for, okay, but still, the idea that my age group is different than your age group is showing a shift of masculinity. You know what I mean? And the same.
But were you experiencing that though?
Like, from what I'm seeing, because again, I'm not a man, so I don't know. There could be something inside, like, that, inside the men community that's, like, happening, you know what I mean? But from what I've seen on the outside, because mind you, this is a question that guys ask the girls, so yeah. What do you think about the state of masculinity? It was just like, I've seen more guys, like, there's a destigmatization of certain things, you know? Like, skincare. You see a lot more guys doing skincare now. I'd say being in more spaces where they can not have to present as, I don't know how to explain, like, as aggressive all the time.
Well, yeah, there's a shift in the world, and not just more worldly, but I feel like there was a shift that happened in the world, if you haven't noticed. A lot of people are how do I say it? A lot of people awakened. We don't really, it's not more so of men versus women as far as, you can't do this. That's a male thing, or you can't do that. That's a girl's thing. People are taking care of themselves more. They're more conscious on taking care of their bodies or what they're not going to stand for, especially with jobs. People are leaving jobs. People are taking care of their skin. People are taking care of their bodies. Men don't care about, getting their hands dirty. Men are having jobs in offices. Men are becoming entrepreneurs. Men are doing things like that. I rarely see a lot of men on, I'm just saying, this is just based off social media and things like that. I rarely see a lot of men doing construction or, I see a lot of men that are in office, and a lot of gay men, like bottoms and, feminine men. I don't see a lot of men that are like very masculine men these days, versus like how back in the day men were kind of like, it was raining men, hallelujah, it was rain. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I feel like there was some type of shift that happened. And you have to also remember with the alphabet people really advocating, and I feel like, yeah, they were advocating for their people, but that also made a lot of people who are just hetero feel comfortable liking skincare and going to get their nails
there's
painted
been,
too.
Like, a positive shift.
Yeah,
like,
there's a very much a positive shift, and that's okay. I'm not afraid of. I don't want to like kind of change the subject, but I'm not afraid of men who do those things. Like, I see a lot of women are very intimidated by men who go and get their nails painted clear, or men who do facials and like to take care of themselves. They get very scared of that. They get very much intimidated by that. And don't want to date them, or are scared they're DL. And I noticed that agenda has been pushed so much on TikTok. Like, oh, he's DL if he does this. He's DL. That doesn't scare me. It scares me in a sense where, be honest, if you're DL, a man being bisexual doesn't intimidate me or scare me as a person that's pansexual. Being sneaky scares me, because I need to know that my man can be faithful and he's not out here doing whatever with whoever, and then you're coming back and messing with me. But I'm saying I notice that women are intimidated by men showing more of a softer side, and they take that as a man being into men, which is weird. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think that's a part of the issue?
Well, like, I feel like there's kind of a lot that goes into it, you know. I don't know. There's like a lot, because
that's a whole nother bag of worms.
That's a whole nother thing, because I feel like that also goes. That one is, I feel like it's not also like a gender issue. I feel like that's an issue. I'm not saying like the black community only experiences this, but there's still a lot of stigmatization in the black community about being bisexual or being like any type of like LGBT or anything like that. There's a lot of stigmatization behind that still, and it doesn't help that I'd say a lot of millennials cling to older generation rappers like Boosie and I'm trying to think of older people. Neo. I'm not saying
Method Man.
Who?
Not you saying who to Method Man.
What he's singing.
Don't worry about it, baby. We'll talk about it later.
Because, like, sometimes I don't be knowing their name, but I be knowing what they sing.
Well, I'll show you him one day. Let me think of somebody who that be out there now. That's a millennial.
Or like Diddy, like no, because like, okay, here's the thing though, because like Diddy was, this is crazy example, Diddy was the main one being like, oh, I ain't gay, I don't roll like that, like y'all.
But he's the main one.
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not.
Usher is one.
Oh, okay.
But they were saying that Usher and Diddy. Well, that's been a rumor.
Well, yeah, because he was. Because Diddy had like legal guardianship of him for a little bit, or like temporary guardianship of him for a little bit.
Right.
But same thing with JB too. But I'm saying within the black community, there's a lot. Not only in the past, there was a lot of like rappers being like, "Oh nah, like that's weird. I don't roll like that." But also now, when they still see that this is something on the rise, they're still advocating against it. Not even directly, but on the low. And there's like that stigma of that.
Yeah.
So, and then I see like a lot of millennials still clinging to those figures. I'm not saying like, oh, a celebrity says one bad thing and you gotta ditch them, because we all know we be bopping Nicki, but like still they cling to them very hard and like, or like, oh well, whatever they say is like God's word, basically.
That just it's just I'm just disgusted now, because now that we're having this conversation and I'm like really thinking about it, I'm like frustrated, because the world is blind to what they're pushing right now. Have you noticed like everything is like a sub category to, it's like this big category, right? And everything has a subcategory, and all of it is like sexuality. You know what I mean? Like by down low, Diddy, sexual assault. you know, you just seen where Soulja Boy just lost his case against sexual assault. He has to pay a woman $4 million.
Heartbreaking. Parker loves Soulja Boy.
Yeah, that just happened today.
Thinks he's like funny because like he'll try to be like cool in the video, and she's like, he's so clearly like not that.
Yeah, he even just got caught up in,
But that was I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying that was like so common back then, especially since there was like not awareness for that type of thing.
But Soulja Boy...
Well, yeah.
I'm like so in disbelief. That kind of broke my heart a little bit because Soulja Boy doesn't even seem like he would do something like that.
But I'm saying, like, you can't really... But again, you don't know him personally. You only know what he's put out there.
I know, but Soulja Boy, maybe Trey Songz with his crazy eyes.
Trey Songz, like...
He looks like a demon.
Didn't he get Keke Palmer or something? Isn't he... And if I snuck up in your bed and touched you...
No, that man is a demon. A demon has taken over. Yes. Yes, but Keke Palmer been saying it, and ever since she said it and people were going against her, I already knew. I trust Keke. Yes, I don't know her in real life, but she's like the cousin that was from Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we seen one summer, and ever since then, you just was locked in with her, even though you ain't seen her again. Right. She's like that cousin, you know? Mm-hmm. But have you seen the recent videos of him? He is definitely possessed by a demon. Well, one day I have to show you. But I'm just saying, now they said that about Trey Songz, which he got like 38 cases out there.
Yeah.
But Soulja Boy, tell him.
Well, another thing is that the black community holds these figures in such high regards that...
Don't do that to a Soulja. We're not going to even have that speech about Soulja Boy.
But I'm saying, if they're
we're not going to do that.
To come out. It's true.
Not Soulja. We ain't gonna have that talk about Soulja
again because they know the backlash. Because think about Keke with Trey Songz and how there was that.
But that's different because he seems like that type. Soulja is so chipper.
But the thing is, that be the main people.
His spirit doesn't give that.
That be the main people that people say that about and be like, no, he wouldn't do that.
Name one person that you have been shocked about that they have said that about. Soulja is mine.
I haven't. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well...
Because Diddy...
I didn't know Diddy until the Diddy situation.
Girl, he was walking around like Joker.
Well, yeah, but I didn't find that out till the Diddy situation. Like,
really? Oh, because he's not your... Okay.
Yeah, I did not know this man existed.
Okay, man... Diddy has always been a weirdo. Ever since that beef with Biggie and Pac, and I still think he has something to do with their unaliving. Period.
Like, that's the only... Like, I literally did not know that man existed until...
That's crazy.
Like, I had seen him in the background of things, like the Shadow Man, but, like, I never knew...
Girl, his history's been crazy when he had that Making the Band reality show.
I know, but
and had them walking to get cheesecake.
I know, but I hadn't learned any of that until the situation happened.
Well, yeah, that would make sense, because you are only 18, so... Yeah, I get it.
I literally did not know he existed until, like, you... It's like...
Y'all are so badass. Like, y'all do not be taking anything.
It's like Drake in the background of the Justin Bieber video. Like, you don't know he's there until someone points, like, hey, ain't that Drake? And you're like, wait a minute. And then you start seeing him everywhere. Like, it's just, I don't really, like, know that much.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And then it's even worse for me because I stay out of the loop. Like, they'll be like, oh, did you hear about this new celebrity? And I'll be like, who? Like, girl, she was on Disney Channel. Ain't nobody worried about her.
Yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. But no, why are they talking about how y'all be quitting jobs when y'all unhappy?
No, I've been saying that about my job. Like, people are like, you're crazy, you're not even in this job yet. And I'm like, if I give them my schedule and they don't respect my schedule, then they're gonna find somebody else. Because at the end of the day, people don't realize that companies need them. We don't need these companies. They need us.
Yeah, I can't wait till we push the boomers out. Especially and it's just millennials and Gen Zs.
Especially as someone without dependence, I have that privilege of doing that. Like, being like, no, I'm not going to stand for that.
Yeah, and that's another thing y'all aren't doing either is having kids. Because
women over 50, I think it was either women over 40 or women over 50 now have more kids than, they're having kids more than teens. I just seen a study about that.
I know. I have noticed that too. I have noticed that too, because they're getting married later in life, though. That's why. Mm-hmm. I wonder why. And then a lot of us are getting divorced later. You know, we're getting divorced and then we're reclaiming our independence. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how life. And I'm telling you, there was a shift because last year was the year of 8. This year's the year of 9, and it's like more of the evolution and change, and you know, and we are really seeing that now. It's really happening. It's crazy to see it play out, you know, and I love that for us. But in the workforce, I'm ready for all the, you know, boomers to go on and retire and let the Gen Zs and the millennials run it. But at my company, you know, it's more millennials than it is like boomers. I don't really see that many boomers. We have like a few, maybe like 5. Not even that. I haven't seen that many boomers.
But it could also be because your company's a little newer, and
they're not newer. I think it's just a lot retire. And when I'm in, you know, I haven't been there that long, and you know, there was a lot of shift and changes that were made recently, probably in the last 2 years.
Staying with their company, so you'll never see a boomer new hire, but you'll always see a boomer that's been there because, like, they usually stay with their company like until they retire. Yeah,
like I don't see as many like there's some companies, like some bigger companies. But no, our organization's been around for a very, very, very long time. But me coming in, that was a big shift, a lot of people got promotions, moved up and things like that when people retired. So it's very much millennial driven, you know, it's like the first meeting we had, I was like, wow, very chill, very, you know, like, very much millennial driven. Very much, millennials are leading. Because when your CFO say, hurry up, let's wrap this up. I got a Halloween party to get to, dressed as Beetlejuice, you know. That if that's not millennial coded, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, we do gotta watch Love on the Spectrum because I just seen a video about it.
Okay. But yeah. No, that was a good conversation. And I like having conversations like that. But you're like the only person I can really have those type of conversations with. Because, baby, the NPCs out here.
No, it was so frustrating in that circle. And I'm, like, looking around, like, am I the only one that, like, doesn't feel like this is going anywhere? Like, just because you look down and go, well, that doesn't make the conversation, that doesn't make what you're about to say deep, bruh.
No, for real. But maybe because I raised you.
I don't know. It's very frustrating. Like, and I really want to.
Do you have friends you can have conversations like that with?
I have them with Parker.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because we have a lot of. Because we were talking about. I was talking about like the disposable black girlfriend trope in media. You know what I mean?
What is that?
It's like, okay, so basically.
Oh God, you done taught me something new.
No,
I want to
so
hear it.
Because I
want to hear it.
I was talking to Parker. I was like, I've literally been this. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, this is my life. And so basically, what happens is in shows or in movies, there's usually the white main character, right? And for some reason, they always end up having like a black girlfriend at the start, right? Or like early in the series, right? Then they always break up with the girlfriend. But the black girlfriend is used to make the main character realize that he's more into a white love interest. Does that make sense?
Like what show?
I'm trying to think of a show that you've seen because I've seen a lot of shows with it. Because you're not like a nerd either, so you don't know. Okay, let me look up. Let me look up shows with it so I can see if you've seen it.
I'm a hood nerd.
Yeah, and that's the problem because I can't be like, okay, let me see. Okay, let me see. Try to find shows.
So it's like he was with a black girl and then he realized he broke up with her because he realized he loved a white girl instead.
Yeah, but it's not because she's, like, it's not explicitly like, oh, I love a white girl. I don't want.
But he fell in love with a white girl,
and it's usually something that they.
Oh, like Waiting to Exhale. Oh, but he was black.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, I mean, it can be a black
with Bernadine.
Well, it can be a black male interest, but usually it's more explicit when it's a white male interest, because then you're like, okay, well, we can see what they're pushing. I'm trying to find one. Because, like, you haven't seen... I keep forgetting, like, you haven't seen anything.
And you know I don't be watching TV that much.
I know, which is, like, why it's kind of frustrating, because it's like, man. Okay, let me see. Oh, wait, people are talking about Severance? Let me see.
You haven't even finished Severance. It was so good.
But I know you finished Severance.
It was so good. I can't wait. People are sleeping on Severance. They need to get on. Oh my God, it was so good.
I'm looking.
Apple TV.
Here, I'm gonna look up examples because I need to find one for you. Because you don't watch, like, there's like, you didn't watch Danny Phantom because you're.
No.
Yeah,
hell no.
That wasn't your era. You haven't watched Invincible.
I mean, I didn't see episodes when you had it on, but no, I was not watching it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you don't know. Okay, well, I can use Danny Phantom as an example, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you know of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Danny Phantom, basically, there was a black girl in the show. I don't remember her name. But she was so cool. Like, I liked her. And then, so Danny, who's white, or he looked white, he got with her, right? But then he ends up breaking up with her because he's more in love with Sam, who is one of the, I think her name is Sam. He's like the goth, remember the goth girl? Yeah, that's his love interest, right?
Right.
And so they just kind of like cast this character to the side, and she was only for development. So she was a sacrifice, basically, for the development of the main white relationship.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in media. So I was talking to Parker about it, because I was like, oh, like, I'm so frustrated that they did that in Invincible, because I feel like Mark and Amber, which is one of the couples, they were great together. Like, Amber held Mark accountable about his superhero stuff.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, I get it, you're a superhero, but you still have commitments. Like, you still need to be, if I say dinner with my parents at this time, then you need to be doing that. Like, you know? And so they eventually ended up breaking up, right?
Right.
And so I was like, oh my God, this is so heartbreaking. Like, I love this couple, right?
Right.
And she made him more, like, even though he was a superhero, she made him more human.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark and Amber get together. And Amber's white, and it's not it for me. They're so boring, like, literally so, there's no chemistry. Mark will be like, I have no one understands what it's like to be a superhero. And then Amber will go, you have me, Mark. And then that's it. That's the whole dynamic of the relationship, is based on that and trauma bonding about how awful their fathers are when it comes to their powers. Like, that's all it is, you know? And so I was talking to Parker about that. I was like, oh, that's really frustrating because I love Mark and Amber together, and everyone, like, hates Amber, and it's so annoying because it's like...
Is Amber the black girl?
Yeah, Amber's the black girl. And Eve, I'm thinking of Eve. Eve is the white girl he got with. Amber's the black girl. And also in the comics, she wasn't always black, you know? Like, I like that they changed her to black because then it makes her more relatable, but it's also frustrating because it's like, okay, well, now it feels like she's black just for the sake of this trope, you know? So yeah, that was really irritating. And then
but how does that relate to you?
Because I was saying, like, I've experienced this, like, there's
with who?
But just in general, where there's like there's like a certain relationship where it's like, okay, you have like this thing going on with this guy, and then it's like, oh, this isn't gonna work, like, randomly, like, I don't want this anymore, and just for them, or I'm not looking for a relationship just to hop into a relationship with a white girl, and it's like, you could have. You could have just said that.
But maybe it's not really that. Maybe it's just they just
yeah,
date.
and that's like fair. But I'm saying, like, I'm just putting, like, relating my, because how I view my life is usually through, like, medias that I've seen.
Right.
So that's something I can relate to. And then also it's frustrating because I feel like a lot of the hate that comes from Amber is because she's black, and there's that subtle bias because everyone's like, oh, she's doing too much, she's always complaining, yada yada yada. And
right.
It's like, no, she's just black, and you guys don't like her. Right?
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Parker about, like, how frustrating that is and how it's done a lot in comic books. And I really hate that. And then I was talking about, like, how, what do we call her? We have a name for her.
Yeah.
My future roommate, we call her the evil lesbian because I don't know, it's just funny.
I'm done.
And so we call her like the evil lesbian, and then I was talking about like how frustrating it is because she had said like, oh, you only like Amber because she's black.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, that's not true at all. And then I was talking, I had posted on my note one day, and I was like, oh, Mark and Amber is like my sleeper agent sentence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it activates me to go on a rant about it. And then she was like, oh, you're still on about that? And it really, like, irritated me because it was like, shut up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, silence yourself. Like, it was just really irritating because it's like, girl, why are you doing all, like, you're going out of the way to interact. And then I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to talk about it a lot. Like, Invincible's been my hyperfixation for, like, 3 months now. You know? And she's like, well, I'm just starting to realize how hyper this fixation is. You're going out of your way to interact with me. It's not like I'm going out of my way to tell you all this stuff about it. You're going out of your way to reply to my notes and stories and all that.
Who was that?
My future roommate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's really irritating because it's like, girl, I low-key been ghosting you, like...
Have you?
Yes, I have not hung out with her all quarter.
No.
I haven't. Like, girl, I low-key been ghosting you. You've been getting on my nerves. I'm about to fight you. Like, shut up.
Dang.
Like, I'm telling you, when I tell you, like, Parker's the only person I hang out with. Parker's the only
Well, good
person
for
I hang
you.
out with.
I'm proud of you. Because
Like,
I know that you haven't been saying anything.
No, I have not been around her.
Good for you. I don't know how you should have just switched up.
I asked, like, I think I tried to hang out with her once. And
you know how confrontational she is because she's definitely going to be like, well, you're not trying to do da.
Okay. What do you want me to do about that?
Oh, that's going to be a whole year.
No, I'm going to switch roommate. My plan is to switch roommates.
Okay.
But the thing is, the only other option I have is Lexi. And Lexi and I are, like, friends, but we're not, like, super close.
Good, because you need someone that you're not, like, super cool with to be your roommate, but y'all get along.
I don't like that because I'm going to feel not as comfortable in my room. You know what I mean? And also, I think there's a comfortability in having roommates that I know better because I know how far I can, like...
Go with it, but y'all will get to know each other, and I feel like
Lexi and I are like close enough friends. Like we have like dinner together about like once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like between me and her, there's not a strong connection, and I'm not saying there has to be a strong connection. But if I'm gonna live with you for like a year, I want to be able to like be interactive somewhat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, enough to be like, hey, let's go do this. Like this is fun. You know? And I feel like I don't really have Lexi. I feel like is a friend. You know, friends where you like. You're only friends because you're a part of, like, a group. Does that
right.
Like, I feel like one-on-one, me and Lexi don't work. But when it's me, Lexi, and Haley, then we're a really good, strong group.
Yeah.
Know? And so that's kind of, like, frustrating. But it's like, if I still room with my future roommate, then I feel like there's still, like, there's still, not to say, like, oh, I can, like, but punk her and boss her around. But there is still that, like, okay, well... I know you're not going to say anything if I do this. You know what I mean? Like with my roommate now where it's like, okay, well, like,